Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever studied English for 3 hours in one day, felt super motivated, and then done nothing for the next 2 weeks? If your answer is yes, don't worry. You're definitely not alone. A lot of English learners believe they need huge amounts of time to improve. They think they need to study for hours every day, memorize hundreds of words, and finish grammar books from cover to cover. But here's the truth. When it comes to learning English, consistency beats intensity every single time. In other words, studying for 15 minutes every day is much more effective than studying for 5 hours once a week.
Why?
Because language learning is like going to the gym. You don't build muscles in one day. You build them by showing up again and again. And English works exactly the same way. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about why consistency is your best friend in learning English, how your brain actually learns through repetition, and 3 simple ways to practice every day, even if you're very busy. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what happens inside your brain when you learn English. Your brain is constantly creating connections between words, sounds, and meanings. The first time you hear a new word, your brain says, "Okay, this is new." The second time, it says, "I think I've heard this before." And after hearing it many times, your brain says, "Got it. I know this word." That's why repetition is so important. Every time you read, listen, speak, or write in English, you strengthen these connections. Think of it like walking through a forest. The first time, there's no path. But if you walk the same way every day, eventually a clear trail appears. That trail is like a habit in your brain. And once the trail is strong, using English becomes easier and more automatic. This is why short, daily practice works so well. You're telling your brain, this matters. Keep this information. There's a useful idiom here. Slow and steady wins the race. It means that small, consistent efforts often lead to better results than big, dramatic efforts. And that is exactly how language learning works. You don't need to sprint. You just need to keep moving. Now you might be wondering, okay, but how can I be consistent if I'm busy? Good news. You don't need extra hours in your day. You just need to use the time you already have. Here are 3 simple ways to practice English every day. Tip number 1. Listen during routine activities. Turn your commute, workout, or housework into English practice time. Listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, or audiobooks. Even 10 minutes a day makes a difference. At first, you may not understand everything. That's completely normal. Don't get hung up on every word. Get hung up on means to focus too much on one thing. Instead, try to understand the main idea. Over time, your listening skills will improve naturally. Tip number 2. Label things around your house. Put small notes on everyday objects. For example, mirror, refrigerator,
Chair.
window. Every time you see the object, you review the word. This technique is simple, but very effective. It helps you connect English with your real life. And because you see these words repeatedly, they become easier to remember. Tip number 3. Keep a 5-minute journal. At the end of each day, write 3 to 5 sentences in English. For example, today I went to work. I had coffee with my friend. I feel tired but happy. That's it. Your writing doesn't need to be perfect. The goal is to build the habit. Remember, practice makes progress, not perfection. Let's talk about something every learner experiences. The plateau. A plateau is a period when you feel like you're not improving. You study regularly, but your English seems stuck. This can be frustrating. But here's the important thing. Plateaus are completely normal. In fact, they are often a sign that your brain is processing what you've learned. Think of it like heating water. The temperature rises slowly, but nothing seems to happen. Then suddenly, the water boils. Your progress in English works the same way. Sometimes your improvement is invisible until one day you understand a movie scene or speak more confidently without realizing it. So, how do you stay motivated? First, look back. Compare your English today with your English 3 months ago. You'll probably notice that you've improved more than you thought. Second, celebrate small wins. Maybe you understood a new phrase. Maybe you wrote a paragraph. Maybe you had a short conversation. These are all victories. Third, trust the process. There's another useful idiom. Keep at it. It means continue, even when it feels difficult. Success often comes to the people who simply refuse to quit. So if you feel stuck, don't stop. Keep showing up. Your breakthrough may be just around the corner. To wrap things up, consistency is the secret ingredient in learning English. Your brain learns through repetition. Small daily habits are more powerful than occasional marathon study sessions. And even when progress feels slow, every minute of practice is building your skills. So remember, 15 minutes a day is enough. Simple habits work, and steady practice leads to real results. Here's today's challenge. Leave a comment and tell me one thing you did today in English. Maybe you listened to a podcast. Maybe you learned a new word. Or maybe you wrote your first journal entry. Whatever it was, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with another English learner. And remember, slow and steady wins the race. Keep at it, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye and happy learning.